Welcome back to the Punzi Grange. Today we're in my holiday gift to myself, my new sunroom that I converted from a mudroom. And you can see I have these nice panels here that are well insulated. They're double panels and they're 4 foot wide and is about 12 feet long. And I can grow my plants all winter and bring you new ideas all through the winter season. And today, since it is the holiday season, we're going to talk about a special holiday cactus. Let me introduce it to you. Come right down here. In the store, you'll see this called Zygocactus. And it blooms usually around the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, so there's actually 2 types. One is called the Christmas and one is called the Thanksgiving cactus. And you can see the blooms are starting to come in here. You can see that flower. In a couple weeks we'll have nice long flowers, very beautiful magenta color. And the reason they're called Zygocactus is it's actually short for zygomorphic, which actually is a real fancy term for meaning that you can split this in half and it's the same on either side. And I'll tell you a little bit about how to grow these. Now this plant is an old plant. This is a inherited plant from my friend Helen Engel. And she gave it to me and it's been in a pot. And they don't mind being pot bound, but I may pot this up after flowers this year. And they like nice, cool weather, like between 67 degrees. So if you buy these in the store, you can keep them in your home very easily because it's between 60 and 70 degrees is their optimal temperatures. Now, in order to get them to bloom each year, when you buy the first year, you don't have to worry about that. But in future years, what you're going to do is you're going to bring it outside for the summer, and then you're going to leave it outside until just before the frost. And those 50-degree night evenings will initiate bloom. The day length will also work, but the combination of 2 is foolproof, and you'll initiate buds, and you'll start to see little buds come in like in here. Now, there are 2 types, as I mentioned. The botanical name for the Christmas cactus and the Thanksgiving cactus is Schlumbergera. It's a mouthful. And there's 2 types. The Christmas cactus is actually a little bit different. They're slightly different. So I'm going to show you here. This is actually something that I took cuttings from this plant in the summer. And it didn't get big enough to flower. They have to be a little bit bigger before they'll flower. But you can kind of see how they have these little like teeth grooves here. Now I'm going to show you, this is the Christmas, and I'm going to show you the Thanksgiving, which blooms a little bit earlier. And if we can get a close-up right on here, you can kind of see how it has those little spikes. Subtle difference, and the flowers, the color of the pistil is a little bit different, but otherwise their care is exactly the same because these plants actually come from Brazil. And they're from the mountains of Brazil, so they like filtered light, nice bright filtered light like a day like today. I don't have to put them in full sun, so they work well in most houses. And as I mentioned, because they come from these areas, the temperature ranges from 60 to 70 and down to 50 when you want it to bloom. Now the other thing to remember about these plants is that they are cactus, but they're special cactus. They're called epiphytic cactus, and epiphytes are plants that live in the crotches of trees. So in this sense, they're very similar to most of the orchids that we grow in our home, but they're so much easier to take care of. Their temperature requirements are much easier. So basically, if you get these plants in the store, you see Zygocactus or Christmas cactus. They're wonderful plants, make great house plants, and you can grow them all year long, even easier than poinsettias, because poinsettias are much more difficult to take care of all year. These stay pretty all year. So if you're interested in growing these, they're great. You can get them in 4-inch pots and eventually have an heirloom plant like the one I have here. Till next time, this is Peter Punzi. Have a great holiday. Live long and garden.